Hello and welcome to episode 32 of Seagulls Social. I'm your host Maz, and of course I'm joined by my co-hosts Ben and Ryan. How are we doing, chaps?
All good, bro. All good. Had a decent weekend.
Mate.
Apart from Sunday, which is obviously great. Had a big monumentous day in my life. Had my first ever takeaway Chinese on Saturday night. Believe it or not.
Bloody hell!
I know.
We'll get into that. Yeah, we'll get into that, Ben. Just quickly, we've got to introduce our guest, of course. We have got Stuart Jones, the founder of Upload Agency. So, Stuart, welcome to the show. How are you doing? You all good?
Well, you're doing better than me, I think, aren't you? But,
yeah. Flying compared to you.
I'm not too bad.
yeah. Well, obviously, Well, just quickly before we go on to the football, Ben, do you just say you haven't had a Chinese ever before? Is that?
I know people.
Did I hear that?
Like, so even like 10 episodes ago, me and Ryan. I had my first ever haircut from a barber's. My mum normally does it, Stuart. Went to the barber's for the first time, and now had my first ever takeaway Chinese.
When did you go to the barber's?
Oh no! So my mum cut my hair again now, but like. I don't know, 10 weeks ago, when we were allowed to go, I went to the barber.
I thought you said 10 days ago. I was about to say, I'll be...
Stuart's trying to get you shut down, Ben. He's trying to get you shut down.
Cancel us.
Keep that on the low.
Cancel Seagulls Social.
I don't think some of the football players and their haircuts, they're getting done by their mum.
Yeah, what's that
I'm not
about?
having it.
It's that HD Cuts guy, isn't it? That HD Cuts Instagram account. He's going around all the footballers' houses still, isn't he? Spreading out COVID.
Yeah. I just don't know how they get away with it, though. I'm not sure how they get away with it. It's mental.
Yeah, it's so obvious that they've got like the freshest fades just before the match.
How'd you get that? Oh no, you got that. Right, let's talk about the good stuff then. Well, for us anyway. Of course, it was a big result for us. Huge in our relegation scrap. And of course, Stuart, let's start with you then. Overall, what were your thoughts on the game itself and how it all panned out?
I wasn't overly surprised. I think we've just kind of run out of steam now, run out of ideas. I think the teams have kind of learnt how to play against us now, and as we showed again this weekend, we didn't really have a plan B. We tactically, I think Brighton were better than us, and I think that we've struggled more and more on this bad run now. By not having a plan B and not reacting to things. If you look at our stats, I think we're the worst. I think Brighton are second from worst in terms of losing points from winning positions, but we're also one of the worst at picking points up when we're behind. We tend to either just win and stay and win the game, or draw, but we don't seem to be able to turn games round or hold on when teams change their tactics for us. So, it's I think Brighton deserved the win in the end. I think we were okay in the first half. In the second half, passing the ball around all the possession, but not really doing anything with it.
Sounds like us, right? It sounds a lot like how we've been playing.
Yeah. I don't know how we got away with the win, to be honest with you. It was a bit of one of those games where I thought personally, just speaking, I thought it was a very tight game. It wasn't. I don't think it was like a clear. We were like clearly the better team. I think we just edged it. No. And I think I know you mentioned, because we spoke obviously off air, and I mentioned like you might be a bit fatigued, but you didn't see that as a case, did you? Because I think you made 6 changes. Was it from midweek?
Yeah, we had six players. Changed for this game, so I don't know. We just run out of steam in the second half. We've been doing it for the last. We've won 2 games in 17, I think now. So
wow,
it's getting sticky for you guys. I think
you don't think you will be getting relegated though. Surely you're safe. You're not.
We'll pick up a win somewhere along the line. I think our next run of games is pretty decent. In terms of the teams that we're playing, and I think a win will do it. It's considering I don't think they'll be selling any more of the stop the count, we're top of the league t-shirts.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh my god,
what a fall from grace. What a fall from grace that is. It's mental. You're top of the league, and now I don't know what's happened. Like, do you know what's happened? What has happened?
I think part of it is when we get on a good run, when we're winning games and we go in confident and then it's all fine. But as soon as something goes wrong, we don't seem to be able to kind of turn things around. I think we actually miss Walcott. I think we miss his brain up front. Not necessarily his skills, etc., but just his brain where he drags players around and stuff. I don't quite know what's going on with Danny Ings. I hope that he's not kind of got his head turned now and looking to go somewhere else, because to be honest, if Danny Ings goes, I think football will be dead to me. I mean, his whole family are Southampton season ticket holders. He's grown up in the area. All his mates are Southampton lads. And if he goes to another club now, then you think, well, where is the loyalty?
True.
So, but yeah, he's not really firing now. We've had injuries, but if you look at our team, it's not the worst team we've ever had in the Premier League. We shouldn't. It's not a team that should only win 2 games out of 17.
No, not at all.
Stu, I saw your all your fans were saying you want Hassan Hurtel out. A lot of your fans were saying that, and I found that quite surprising because I always thought he was quite a good manager. Yeah, you're on a bad run, but what's your sort of take on that?
I'm in the Hassan Hurtel out brigade. I have been for a while. I think
Really?
I think some of our fans, I think it's probably split 50-50 at the moment. I mean, he's a lovely guy, don't get me wrong, and he's great with his wacky jazz hands that he does at the end of every win that we do, and all of that stuff in the tears after the Liverpool game and everything, and you think, oh, what a nice guy. But at the end of the day, he's never really shown himself to be able to change a game pretty much since he's been here. He did for the first 6 months, but we had a guy called Danny Roll who was his assistant, and it was rumoured that he was the guy behind all the tactics, and was instrumental in everything. And he went to Bayern Munich and is the assistant manager at Bayern Munich now. And pretty much since that day, we've never really managed to change a game, or we've never come away thinking, oh, great tactics. We've lost 9-0 twice, and people can say, oh yeah, but it's just one of them things. Again, it's tactics. If you're 3 or 4-0 down, you think, right, damage limitation, let's shut up shop. Yeah. But we just capitulate, and yes, we had a player sent off against United and stuff. But even then, tactically, you've got to be able to stop the leak.
True.
Certainly, losing 9-0 twice in 12 months is it shows it's not a coincidence.
Yeah, I mean, basically, Stuart, just to sum up, basically, you call him a fraud. You're calling Hassan Hurtel a big fraud. But no, I generally look. That's actually really interesting about the assistant manager. I wasn't aware of that, and the fact he's gone to Bayern Munich. I mean, I think that says it all really with regards to the quality of the guy. So I think Hassan Hurtel might be maybe missing that second guy. But I mean, you guys obviously watch him week in, week out, so we only get to see him from afar, and we think he's this great manager, don't we? Because he's been linked with all these big clubs and stuff. And like, do you see him maybe leaving? And would you care so much?
I wouldn't care. No. I think now. I think there's no point just getting rid of him kind of tonight, tomorrow, and that. We're still in the FA Cup. I think he deserves. We're not in any trouble. I don't think we're in any trouble for relegation. I don't really see that there's that much benefit getting rid of him at the moment. No. But I think that it's time for a change at the end of the season, or when we get knocked out of the FA Cup, whichever is sooner. Yeah. We get knocked out of the FA Cup against Bournemouth. We might as well send him on his way and get someone in to have a few games looking over the team, ready for the pre-season, and if not, give him till the end of the season and swap him out, because I think he has run out of ideas with us now. I mean, don't get me wrong, we've had some great times with him, but we've also had an informed Danny Ings banging goals in almost every week. Yeah. And if you've got a player like Danny Ings banging goals in every week, then you're going to do all right.
Can we have him on loan, please, Stu? Because we need a clinical striker.
Do you know what? Yeah, I'll say it's. I think my biggest anxiety would be Danny Ings leaving us, because then I'd just question football in general. I mean, it's like when Ricky Lambert went to Liverpool. Of course, we would. It was the one club where all the fans kind of clapped him on his way and said, "Go and live your dream at your boyhood club." Letizia obviously stayed with us for years, but I don't think that's ever going to happen again. Our most loyal player at the moment is a Pompey lad, Ward Prowse. He's probably the one that's expended.
Because you're used to selling your big boys, aren't you? You're used to selling your best players.
Especially to Liverpool as well.
Yeah, that's just another kind of a symptom of the Premier League, isn't it? If you're not in the top 6, then you're always, as soon as your players get good, they're going to be gone.
We're starting to look like that as well now. Like, people like Basuma and Ben White are now being talked about with the bigger clubs. So finally, our best players are actually being recognised and
I
potentially
never
will
even
get signed
realised
by
Ben
top
White was
six.
a Southampton Academy lad.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, they said it on
You
Sky
released
yesterday,
him.
didn't they?
You released him.
Yeah. Tyrone Mings was another one that we released, I think, as well.
That's not a bad
yeah.
decision,
We
mate.
let a
That's
few
not a
go
bad
along the
decision.
way.
Yeah, don't mention his name on this podcast.
Tyrone Mings, massive fraud. I'm anti-Tyrone Mings every day of the week.
Love it. And then going back to the game, then obviously, the game. I know you want to try and avoid it as much as you can, Stu. But with regard to the first goal, were you disappointed with the defending from the set piece, or was it just one of those great leap from dunk from our perspective?
Or even the keeping.
Yeah, or the
Keeping
keeping.
be questioned.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's you could point your fingers, but then again, we could point the fingers at defenders, etc. Kind of quite a few times this season. I wasn't too disappointed in it, to be honest. In your second goal as well, I thought Welbeck actually he had a couple of real deft touches in the game. One that set up the goal and that back flick as well.
He showed his quality from his past, didn't he?
What are your thoughts on Welbeck? Because I'm quite anti Welbeck. Obviously, the boys Ryan and Ben are quite pro Welbeck. What are your thoughts on him?
When we were linked with him, kind of my mate's WhatsApp group is like, oh no, look, we're linked with Danny Welshit. But he's not that old, is he? But he feels like he's a bit of a journeyman now.
Yeah, 30 now. 30, there you go.
Yeah, he feels like he's been around for years and years, and
he
he's a bit of a journeyman. But I think he'll do a job, right? He's good players don't turn bad and stay bad.
That's true.
Whether he's going to be in your first 11 every.
He was never good though, Ryan.
Yeah. Oi, less of that. Less of the Iranian slander. I won't be having that on this podcast. I won't be having that. Ryan, from our perspective, Ryan, what do you think we did well there? Obviously, of course, it was a big leap from Dunkey, but like, was that like the perfectly executed set piece from us? Because we're usually not very good at it.
For once, my God.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great goal from Dunk. He was good 12, 15 yards out, and he managed to get a header not only on target, but actually in the back of the net. It made a change to see the net bulge for once. But yeah, it was a typical one. After we scored it, again, we just fell asleep and we let them back into the game straight away. And that was something that we ironed out in the second half. But it seems to be a common theme, doesn't it? As mentioned earlier with the whole dropping points thing. It's so poor. As soon as we take the lead in the game, you instantly think, oh no,
it's 10 minutes later, wasn't it?
And 10 minutes later, they go score. And it was a good goal, but I don't know who was picking him up. Like, I don't know where Burn was, and I don't know where
Dunk kind of flicked it on, didn't he? Almost
Yeah,
like
he
a little
flicked
assistant, Che Adams.
Yeah,
He left him well onside as well.
Yeah, the thing what I felt for Dunk there, because I thought, yes, it was probably a poor header, but you'd probably want someone behind you. You've got to have someone picking him up. You can't have no one picking him up.
I don't know. I think it was his issue. The fact that everyone had pushed out and he was just the one left there. Everyone had bombed forward.
Maybe I missed that.
Yeah. He was literally just on his own there. I think he was playing Che Adams on side.
Yeah, but let's give Southampton credit. Like, it was a great finish from Che Adams. It was a definite. And what's he been like, Stu, this season, Che Adams? Because I know last season he was struggling, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what? He's definitely a form player. Once he starts scoring, he gets on a roll. But he went about 30 games, I think, without scoring a goal. And I actually bet on him. I actually put 20 quid on him at 33 to 1, I think it was, when he scored his first goal after all them.
Oh, right. I thought you meant last night. I was like, what?
No, I'm going to put any money on him. I don't bet on Saints anymore. Anyway.
Yeah, fair play.
But no, he's a weird one because he does a lot of work off the ball, and to some fans his work kind of goes unnoticed. He's a bit like Shane Long. When we had Shane Long up front, does a hell of a lot of work to drag defenders about, a lot of work off the ball, but doesn't necessarily score loads of goals. But with Che Adams, once he gets on a run, it's 3 in 3 games for him now, and hopefully he'll continue because we need it. Because obviously we haven't got Ings either.
Is he out for the rest of the season then, or is he back soon?
No, I don't think it's long term. I think he should be back in the next couple of games.
Okay.
I'm not actually sure what his injury was, but
I thought it was 3
Yeah.
months. I might be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a strange one, but it was funny. I got a funny one with Che Adams. Actually, I had a bet with a geezer at work who's a big Saints fan as well, and I bet him that I bet him that Neil Mopo would outscore Che Adams, and that I won that one quite easily because I think he scored two goals last season. Yeah, I think he scored two goals last season, or one maybe. I won that bet quite easily. So I'm happy I didn't back him this season, to be honest, because he's doing very well. But then, credit to us as well. So Ben, obviously Potter at half time, for once he actually made a sub, which was baffling to us, like blew our minds because he doesn't usually make one until like the 90th minute.
Must have seen the podcast last week because we were saying like we did the whole segment on his game management and how he doesn't make substitutions or he makes the wrong substitutions. But changed the formation. Brought Dan Burn off. I think he saw every single tweet about saying how bad Dan Burn is. Literally after 5 seconds, he got the ball after in the first half for kickoff, and he made that touch and just went out of play straight away. And I was like, mate, Dan Burn, come on, mate.
That's exactly what I said as well. I was like, this sets the tone. Cheers, lads.
It's a shame. It's obviously I don't wish injury on anyone because that's just not the way to think. But in a weird way, it's kind of a relief because now Veltman's now playing on the left instead of Dan Burns might be out for a couple of weeks and might miss Newcastle. Obviously I wish him a speedy recovery, but at the same time, I'm not his biggest fan, so it's a really tricky one.
It's a sticky one, Ben.
It is a bit of a sticky one. Credit to Potter, and it's weird, isn't it? Like I think they've been talking about it recently. Well, all the games where we've had decent results, we've lost possession. We've had less possession in that match. And again, I think we had less possession against Southampton. I think they finished on about 58 or so, and we had a bit less, and we won the game. I don't understand because we're such a possession-based team and attacking team. But the best results come from games where we don't have the ball.
Yeah, I noticed that whenever we play a low block, it's just we struggle. And again, against Southampton, we're playing a team that like to play and like to hold the ball. And for some reason, that seems to be where most of our wins come from. You look at the Villa game; it reminded me a lot of that one. Second half, as we said with Potter, he completely changed it. He didn't just bring on a sub; he completely changed the game. He made it, basically our favour completely. I think we had Zakiri playing left wing back, and I thought he was really, really good. He was really good.
Stuart,
that was
really
mad.
Zakiri is a striker.
Yeah,
he's a striker. And we
forward.
played him left wing back. It's just classic Potter. That is.
Yeah, and
I don't know
to be fair, this goes back to what I was saying a while ago about how you want your players to be able to be versatile and play in multiple positions. And I think yesterday we had White playing right back, centre back. We had Veltman playing left wing back at some times. He was playing left back, left centre back. He was all over the place, and at centre half. Then we had Trossard playing attacking midfield. He was a striker. He was left wing. So we had literally so many players playing all over the place. And credit to them for adapting to what Potter wants them to do, and credit to Potter himself for being able to make them do that, because that takes some doing. To make these players, they're not the highest of quality players. We're not talking about world class footballers here. We're talking about Brighton players, and they're able to adapt to what he's asking. But it completely worked, and we caught Southampton lacking completely. They didn't know what was going on because everything was completely different. Second half setup was different. Players were in different positions, and I think that's what won it for us. It was a great move. That second goal,
100%.
And Trossard,
that second goal,
uncharacteristically clinical,
I love that second
finished
goal.
it off very nicely. And
Stu, you must have thought that you were playing Prime Barcelona for that second goal.
Well, that's like I say, Welbeck's touch there, the sharpness.
Yeah, it's lovely.
It was really good, and no complaints at all on that. But I was quite surprised how sharp that Welbeck looked. 'Cause there was a couple of times that the little knocks that he done and back heels and one touches that opened up our defence.
He's shown that he's capable of that, hasn't he? Because against Villa, he did the same, didn't he? There's a couple of touches that he had where he laid forward a Mope as well. There's a couple of those. So he showed that he can do that. He's just not the most clinical in the world. So when he gets the ball in the last 5 yards of the box, you're thinking, oh God, he's not going to score from there. But he's good with his little touches.
Will Welbeck. That's the thing with me. It's like I do want to like him because he's a likable guy, but I just feel like sometimes he's just not that complete player. And it's weird because you think he's at Brighton and he should be like being that top man like Lallana is, like being the standout player. But for me,
let's not talk about
Lallana. He was on flames yesterday.
So
Stu, that was like watching your ex with someone else, wasn't it? Really?
I can't stand him. There was rumours that he had his agent knocking on our door, kind of saying, "Oh, I'm ready to come back," and I think even the club were like, "No."
Really?
I mean, what he did when he left us, he was signing Liverpool shirts before he'd even signed for them.
Oh, right.
Really?
Out in the
I
World
didn't
Cup
know. I didn't know you Saints fans hated it. Like, do you guys hate him, or is that like a
Um,
wide thing?
yeah, I would say so. Yeah,
Really?
it's not
Wow.
like I think Liverpool fans think that we just hate everyone that went there. But we don't hate we don't hate Mane, we don't hate Nathaniel Klein. Obviously, Ricky
Lovren as
Lambert
well.
went there with our blessing. It's just the way that Lallana did it. I mean, literally a week, 2 weeks before at the Players Awards, before he went off to the World Cup, he's like, "Oh, if you told me I could be here for the rest of my life, I'd bite your arm off for it. I love this club. This club means the world. I want to stay here. Blah blah blah. Badge kissing, all that stuff." Went off to the
God.
World Cup, and he's signing Liverpool shirts before he'd even signed for them. And
He's done a Sol Campbell.
stuff.
He's done a
He has
Sol
done a
Campbell. He's done a Sol Campbell. Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So he's not welcome back at Southampton at all.
Really? Wow.
I think.
I suppose you wouldn't want to pay his 90k wages either. I think a lot of clubs turn their nose up to that, and we were the ones that are like, "Oh, we'll do it."
We'll take it.
But to be fair, he did look. He looked sharp. Yesterday as well.
Yeah, he looked very good.
He's
Was it
good.
yesterday? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was backing Lallana
Just
a lot, and people were calling me crazy, weren't they? Why are you backing Lallana for? I was thinking, well, mate, I'm not being funny. He's come in as a coach as well. Like he's here to be a coach, and it's
Hype
quite
man.
funny you
Yes,
say
man,
that
yeah.
because the only
Hype
people
man, yeah.
I've spoke, the only people I've spoke to is Liverpool fans about Lallana. I didn't actually speak to any Saints fans about it, but all Liverpool fans can say is how amazing he is around the club and how everyone loves him. He's an underrated legend there, and like for the last 5 years he was at Liverpool, he's always been like the one that they all loved and underappreciated. And apparently Klopp loved him too. So it's quite interesting to hear your point of view, completely different. To
I'll be
Liverpool
honest.
fans.
Don't get me wrong. He was. I mean, he was a great. I think he played like 260 odd times for us. He was a great servant. He was part of
The League One squad, wasn't he?
probably. Sorry.
Yeah.
He was in your League One team with like Yoshida. And
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's come all the way through with us. So he's part of some good memories for me. And I think, weirdly, I think my best times being a Southampton fan were in League One and the
You
Championship.
should tear us apart.
Can they keep up? Nigel Atkins, will it?
Can they keep
Yeah,
up?
yeah.
Can they
Mind
keep
the
keep up with us,
mind the
maybe?
Mind the
Mind
gap.
the gap, that's a yeah.
That worked out
Yeah,
well.
I mean,
to be fair.
Fonte last minute winner where he just jumped the hoardings and bundled in with all the fans and we're toppling over and the temporary stands falling over because all the Saints fans. That's one of my best Southampton memories is in League One, and it was just such a good league to be in, and we were going everywhere thinking we're going to get a result. We were going to places like Leyton Orient and taking half their stadium, taking over one of their main stands as well as the stand behind the goal. And it was just great fun.
How was it? Obviously being a Saints fan, because obviously at the time you were like a big fish in a small pond kind of thing. Obviously we were just happy to be there, and we were like we were like on the rise. But whereas you were like a big club. And how was that? As a fan, sort of like hitting down earth with that?
Do you know what? Like I say, it was probably our League One seasons and the Championship seasons are probably the best footballing memories. I mean, I went to my first Saints game in '87. But those couple of seasons in League One and our Championship season, I probably enjoyed them more so than any Premier League season.
Really?
A lot of people do say that.
Because,
especially for Brighton fans say the same. Brighton fans say like League One and Championship days were their better days.
I prefer them personally too. I'm with you.
I mean, you won't be. You won't be getting any pictures of me sat there sobbing into my scarf if we get relegated.
I'm totally with you. I
it's
totally agree.
It's one of them things where you as a fan you want to win every single game, right? So by default, I don't want us to get relegated, but deep down, I do want us to get relegated. But I want us to win every game. So I'm kind of like, so of course I want us to stay up. Of course I want us to win every game. But if we went down to the Championship, then I'd be going home and away every game possible because it's 100%. Such a brilliant league.
Yeah,
and what's the point being in a league? What's the point being in a league where the very best you can hope for is 7th or 8th? I'd much rather just be in a league where we compete with everyone. And,
it's all about clout in the Premier League, isn't it? Really, I think it's not the purest football like the Championship used to be.
Good old days.
No, exactly. Exactly. It's
nostalgia.
The Championship, I think, is the best league in the world. I genuinely think that it's the most competitive league, but still has a high level of football, high standard of football.
100%.
Maybe 20 teams have got a chance of winning the league at the start. Of the season.
Anyone could beat anyone. Yeah.
So
No,
well, you look at Barnsley now.
This is where I start going.
Barnsley now, they're right up there. They're pushing it. They're pushing it for promotion. You would not have put that on them. They only just survived
6
last
games
year.
in a row, I think.
Yeah,
I
they've
think
only
they won
just
that
survived
6
last
games in a
year.
row. Wasn't it stupid?
And now they're
Mad.
pushing promotion.
Madness.
So yeah, I totally agree with you. Literally on everything you just said with the whole relegation thing. It's exactly the same stuff as I keep saying, but people think, oh no, Ryan, what are you on about? If we get relegated, it'll be detrimental. Mate, I just mean as a fan. Like as a fan, the best memories come from there. Come from that league. And like growing up, all I knew was the Championship, really, because that's my era. That's when I was a kid, and it's just the best memories, isn't it? You go into those games, and I don't know why. For some reason, we prefer watching the Championship and lower as opposed to like
it's because we're doing so well, Ryan. That's why. Because we're winning most weeks, whereas in the Premier League, we're like, "Fuck's sake, we've lost again." Or
well, no, I mean more like
winner,
just
loser. Sorry.
I just mean like the Man United fans just want to watch Ronaldo play and stuff like that when they're younger.
Yeah.
As opposed to me, just want to watch League One and Championship football. But that's just how it is, I suppose.
My favourite away day was League One. Gus Poyet's first game. I think we went to Southampton. We beat them 3-1.
Yeah.
I was in year 8. So I was about 13, and like 6 of my mates. We got the train really early. And then went up, spent the day like running around Southampton's mall, like causing havoc, because obviously we couldn't drink. And then we finally made it to the game, 1-3-1, unbelievable. And then we were on the BBC afterwards, like really small, doing a little interview on there. Just all those memories is brilliant.
Yeah.
And then the train journey home, what an away day that was.
Yeah.
That's it, and it helps that all the games, or the vast majority of the games, are played at 3:00 on a Saturday as well. I've got no interest at 4:00 in the afternoon going to watch football.
Or the 7:00 on a Sunday night. That's the worst. That should not be a fixture. My mum was fuming last night because my family are Man United fans, so they were watching the Man United game on Mother's Day, so she was livid.
She weren't having it. So just to summarise, I think it was quite a very tight game. One of those that could have gone either way. I just felt like we edged it. We scored a fantastic second goal as well. I don't know if you echo those thoughts, Stu, from a Southampton perspective.
Yeah, no. I think I think you edged it. I think we obviously had the possession. We just didn't have the killer instinct, and Hassan who couldn't really do anything to change. I mean, bringing Nathan Redmond on is well, he might as well just take Minamino off and just leave him off and not bother bringing.
Really?
I was worried about Nathan Redmond coming on. He always tears us apart. He used to do it for Norwich and Birmingham, and I was thinking, oh god. But then just didn't do anything.
He's a strange one, yeah. He's a strange one. As fans, we're not. I think the majority of Saints fans don't really understand why he's still in and around the first 11.
He's a B-Tech Theo Walcott, really, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, that's it. We do. Again, when we signed Theo Walcott, a lot of Saints fans were like, "Oh, why are we signing him for?" But it made complete sense. He grew up with the Southampton Academy. It is a homecoming for him, and a player like him, you'll get an extra 5-10% out of him just because he's back where he came from. But his brain and his experience in the dressing room and everything, it's going to help. But I didn't understand why we didn't take Minamino off. Why we took Minamino off, should I say? I think his pace causes problems, and I think
he's got some class about him. I'm a big fan of him.
But no grumbles from me.
I was going to say, one talking point I think we've missed is the VAR. I think it was like the penalty shout. Was it Kyle Walker-Peters or who did Joel Veltman really bring down?
I think it was Kyle Walker-Peters.
That was never a pen.
Yeah.
No.
What were your thoughts?
That was never a pen.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on that?
No, that was never a penalty. That's another thing I could talk to you. I could do a whole podcast on how shit I think VAR is.
Mate, sounds like I agree with everything you say. I think
it's ruining the game. I still remember 1987. I think it is the Rumbelows Cup quarter final. Roger Milford playing extra time, and I still blame him to this day, and I still hate him for it. Playing extra time that Oldham got an equaliser, and ultimately we got knocked out of the quarterfinals of I think it was Rumbelows Cup.
Is that like the Johnson's Paint Trophy? That's now called the Papa John's Trophy.
No, it's the League Cup. The League Cup.
League Cup.
Right. Yeah. And I'm still pissed off about it now, but that's football, right? Let the refs make mistakes,
yeah,
and then blame it on the refs. But now you got refs behind a computer that are getting stuff wrong.
Yeah, then
especially that
the
one
ones who
Kyle
appear
Walker
on the
Peters
computer.
in the reverse fixture, Stu, when Kyle Walker Peters was brought down by Solly March when you beat us at home. What were your thoughts on that one? That was out of the
I
box.
can't actually remember it, so I can't give you any feedback on that.
Oh, really? I did not see.
I was there. I was literally
Selective
right above
memory.
it. I was right above it, and I saw it with my own eyes, and I just said that is not a penalty because it was outside the box, and I was like,
and then it
no
came
chance.
on the screen, didn't it? And all the players were pointing at the referee saying, "Look,
it came on the screen."
Box,
we looked up on the screen. I could still see it wasn't outside the box, so we're not in the box. And everyone was like, "Oh no, that's not going to be given." It was given. I was like, "What? How on earth can that be given?"
I haven't liked Peter Banks since this day. Peter Banks.
We scored 2 goals earlier in the season. We scored 2 goals in 2 games that were given offside by VAR down to the collar, where the collar is on the end of the sleeve, and it's like, are we really talking about that now? Why is it offside? Not literally your feet. Draw a line along your feet.
That's what it should be.
They're testing I think it's called the Wenger daylight rule for some reason, and they're testing it in the Chinese Super League 2, and it's about just giving the attacker the benefit of the doubt. So they're testing that out next season, this daylight rule thing.
The thing is that I don't understand is, right, there's so many rule changes, there's so many tweaks and changes. We've changed the game so much that literally no one understands what's going on anymore. And this is exactly the rant I had not too long ago. We keep changing all the stuff and making all these rules up, and it's exactly what Kevin De Bruyne said in his interview. And he said that, for 13 years he played, there was literally no changes, and it was the beautiful game. He said in the last 2 years there's been 15 rule changes. He doesn't understand what's going on. And as you say with offside, it's on your feet. That's how it's always been. That's how offside's always been. In the last 2 years, it's now your fingernails. It's how long your hair is. You might need a haircut at the weekend because then otherwise you won't get offside. But the thing is, we joke. It's true. It's true.
So I go and watch when Saints aren't at home. I go and watch Eastleigh in the conference or the National League, like it's called now. And do you know what? I think I celebrate harder when Eastleigh score than I do when Saints score because
you know
it's going to be a goal
now because you're like, is it a goal? Is it VAR? You can't properly get into it because you don't look like a dick and go, it's not a goal.
Very
but
true.
at least we're watching National League when Eastleigh score. I know that there's no VAR. It's a goal.
Because that's the thing, they were moaning about, I don't know if you saw it last night with the Rabona, Lamella's Rabona goal. They're basically having a go at Martin Tyler for not commentating properly, and apparently Martin Tyler sort of said one of the reasons behind it is that because you never know now with VAR. It's like if you then go mad about a goal and it gets ruled out. Yeah, and it gets ruled out. Obviously, what's the point of going mad about something, especially on live on air? Because you look like a bit of a mug if you just go mad for a goal.
How people can think that's not killing the game, I don't understand. People who say, they're pro VAR. How? What's there to be pro VAR about? I have not got a single good reason to have it. There's no good reason to have it, in my opinion. I'll never be changing my mind on that. I'll never change my mind because I don't get it.
It's a tough one. Yeah, for me personally, I think VAR is a great technology. It's just not being used. So the standard of officiating is awful. So the people using it, it's like it's like trying to drink, have a soup with a fork. It's just never going to happen because the person using it is a fucking idiot. So the fact that VAR is a great piece of technology, it's just being used in the wrong way, and the people using it, like Stu said, the person looking at it, is not calling the decisions right. So it's not VAR as a technology. It's just the people using it, just idiots.
It's like Foden. Foden got brought down in our game in midweek.
Oh yeah,
and it was about as blatant foul as you'll ever see. And
that was awful.
I mean, if anything, Foden was being too honest and kind of tried to stay up. But
so teaching players to cheat. Basically.
Exactly. I mean, it was a blatant foul, but it went to VAR, checked it, and they're like, no, it's fine. And
bizarre.
You just think, what is the point if you what is the point in it being there if you're not going to pick that stuff up? But I mean, to me, football is let refs make mistakes and let us moan and whinge about them, and you don't need
leave it down to human error.
Exactly. And we'll all go to the pub and go, oh, Mike Dean's a prick, and we'll get over it maybe. Apart from Roger Milford in '87, I'm still pissed off at him.
I'm with you, though. I'm totally with you. Yeah. Totally with you. Because the thing is, as I said, like with being against it, Maz, to counteract what you were saying, you say it's for a good thing, like it's a good technology, but like Actually, as we said about celebrating a goal, we can't celebrate a goal, and this goes back to when it first got introduced in 2019-20 season, and when fans were there, we were all there, and you can't celebrate. We don't. I don't know if we can celebrate. You know, the goal goes in, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, but what if it gets given offside? What if he's fouled someone in the build-up, and then. To me, that's not football. That's not what football should be. That's not what it is. You should be able to celebrate as soon as that ball hits the back of the net. Look over that linesman. If that linesman's got his flag up, then fair enough, it's not a goal. But now we're taught that the linesman's got to keep his flag down until the play's ended, which I don't understand either.
Oh yeah,
so.
don't get me started on that one.
But then my counteract, just my counteract on that is then, for example, let's say in a game, let's say Brighton, right? It's the 91st minute in a cup final. Let's say we're playing Southampton and one of their players hacks us down in the box, but the referee doesn't give it, but then VAR does. We've then won a cup final because of VAR, and like for me, it's those big decisions where it can ultimately cost you a game, and then VAR helps you. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know. There's a lot.
We would have probably won the League Cup against United if VAR was in place that season.
Yeah.
Because we scored a Saganowski was onside and called offside or whatever. But I still won't change my mind. I'd much rather lose a game to bad refereeing than a computer, because you can't. You can't look at it and go, oh, do you know what? I like VAR. But only in certain situations. I think you kind of got be all in.
You have to, yeah.
Be all in or all out, and I'd just much rather, I'd much rather let refs make decisions. All I can kind of describe it to is both referees and linesmen now don't have to make decisions because their asses are covered.
There's essentially no point in having a line, really.
You used to get a weather forecast and they'll tell you whether it's going to rain, snow, sunny and that, and now it's a fucking 10% chance of rain. Why? Because they're not wrong then, are they? Do you know what I mean? They can't commit now to whether it's going to fucking rain or not.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what VAR is. It's just...
No, that's a very good analogy, to be fair. But let's draw a line on it, because we could go on about this for hours and hours. So let's draw a line under that. So just was one question we wanted to ask you, Stu. Actually someone on Twitter actually asked for your combined 11 for Saints and Brighton. So based on this year's squads, what would you be your combined 11?
This year's squad.
Yeah.
Luckily, on my other screen, I've put both teams up there just so I don't catch around. I don't actually know any Brighton players.
Imagine if he says Jahanbash. Percy Towel crew.
And there is
do you know what? I feel as though Dunk should be in there just because I think
opinion.
We've been speculated with Dunk ever since he's been a footballer. We're trying to sign him. We never did sign him, but I think we've been speculated with him. Do you know what? I'll just have the Brighton team at the moment. I'm
with Danny Ings up front. With Danny Ings and Jay.
Well, do you know what? Yeah. No, I think from the Saints team, I think Walker Peters has been brilliant this season. Ward-Prowse obviously. I genuinely don't think that there's a better set piece taker in our generation.
I said it before. I think he's the closest thing to David Beckham I've seen. Since David Beckham. Sorry, his set pieces are unreal.
Yeah. I mean, he's scored four free kicks this season. Five including one in the cup, and all of them have been worldies as well. And Vestergaard, before his injury, he was looking world class. He was more influential for us. Before he got his injury, he's not been so good since he come back than probably Van Dijk was for us for a run of about 10 games. He was pinging 40, 50-yard balls around everywhere, running out of defence, scoring goals.
He puts Dan Burn to shame.
He scored against us,
that's how 6'7" should play.
Yeah, he scored against us in the home when you beat us earlier in the season.
Yeah.
He's a good centre-half, to be fair. I like him.
Yeah. So apart, to be fair, Forster is doing all right since he come back. It's good to see him back. But apart from that, do you know what? I'm struggling. I hate to say that I'll put Alan, put Lallana in our team, but only for the sake of this question. I want him to know he's not welcome at Southampton ever. not even to pop back and see family. He can literally go past on the M27 and he can wave to them from Roundham service station on the M27 on his way forward. That's it.
There you go. You heard it here. You heard it first, Lallana. If you're listening, mate, don't ever go back to Southampton.
Doesn't need to,
Stu's
mate.
gonna
He
be
can stay
there.
here as long as he wants. He's in the right part of the South Coast now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome here, mate. So who are you deciding on then, Stu? You're going for just what, 3 Saints players? Is that right?
Do you know what?
I don't think
do
he'll
you
be
know
as
I'm really
negative as
struggling.
this.
I really hate. So no. Do you know what? Bednaric and Vestergaard are all right, but obviously you got White, so he's going to get in ahead of
And Webster too.
Bednaric.
Yeah, Webster. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
injured. Yeah.
Webster's class.
Yeah, and then I don't know. Up front, yeah, obviously Ings is going to be in there, and we haven't really got much else.
No way.
Yeah, no, we mate. Don't
Is
worry
that
about
Gineppo
it.
any good for you? Stu, is that
Yeah,
Gineppo any
Gineppo.
good?
Do you know
I've
what?
heard he's quite good.
Gineppo on his day he's the same as Buffal used to be for us,
Buffal,
almost a
okay.
carbon copy
yeah,
in terms
Buffal.
of he will have games where he's absolutely world class, and you think that this guy can play anywhere, and then he'll have 3 or 4 games where you're like,
Trossard,
not really sure.
basically.
He works really hard. I actually think he'd make a decent wing back because he runs and runs and runs, and he really gets stuck in as well. He's not afraid to tackle, which is unusual for his type of player, a pacey, skillful, attacking-minded player. But when the chips are down, he does get stuck in as well. So if we were playing with a 5-man defence, 3 centre backs and 2 wing backs, I actually think he'd be all right in that position.
You see a lot of
so,
those
yeah,
now. A lot of wingers are converting to wing backs. I mean, all over football. Not only with us, like with March has done it, and he's done a good job until he got injured. But you look at even the likes of Davis, he's gone into a left wing back, etc. So yeah, I think that's actually not a bad shout. Like it's happening a lot with wing backs now.
Who's it? Christian Pulisic is playing right wing back for Chelsea as well recently.
Yeah,
Which is quite.
Callum
strange,
Hudson-Odoi
It's
too.
a
I think he
modern
was
day
playing
position
wing
now,
back.
isn't it? Yeah, Hudson-Odoi as well.
So yeah, it's interesting.
All right.
So that's your combined 11. So I think we touched on
Yeah.
James Ward-Prowse. Do you reckon he
Yes.
has any chances to get in the England squad at all? Well, yeah. Do you reckon he'll be on the plane?
Do you know what? I think you've got to have him in the squad. Just his set piece delivery. He does a lot of work off the. Does a lot of work with the ball. I think he covers more miles than pretty much any other Saints player. I think last season he covered more miles as well. He's toughened up over the last couple of years. I think his weak point was he was a bit lightweight and get kicked off the ball easy. So he offers more than his set pieces. But because of his set pieces and because he can spray the ball around, he's somebody who's good to come on for an England team when you just need to keep lumping the ball up if you're 1-0 down with 10 minutes to go. I don't think he's
think
first
it's
11 player.
Yeah, the thing is with England now, we're so stacked in that position. We've got so many good players.
I was going to say, that's
Mount,
the thing.
Grealish, so
I don't know. I'd say
Yeah,
Ward-Prowse is
Rice,
probably more of a deeper role,
Karen
really.
Phillips.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
You've got
true,
Rice and
true.
Jordan
You've still
Henderson.
got Rice and
I
Henderson.
wouldn't play Ward-Prowse
I wouldn't have
that
Phillips.
advanced as you would.
Phillips yet.
No, Phillips, no.
But no, it's an interesting one. Obviously, yeah, he's quality. We all know, like, his set pieces. For me, his set pieces are just so deadly, and just like you said, just knowing that he can come off the bench, like you said, Stu, like to be able to provide that. I think that might strike a few teams. Like they'll be fearful of that, maybe. So it could have that impact off the bench.
Do you know what?
but,
Actually,
yeah.
you say his set pieces are deadly. You know that one yesterday where I was literally like really scared when it was right on the edge of the box, and I was thinking this is going to be a goal.
Oh,
We had
yeah.
9 players in that wall. 9 players, I think it was in that wall.
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
And
9.
literally, you had about 3 or 4 strikers around there waiting for the. If he just passed it right, there was literally it was just him and Sancho. That was it.
Yeah.
All he had to do was
Well,
pass
yeah,
it to him. He was at a goal.
I was too busy shouting in my screen, I can't remember which one of your players off. I don't know where this fucking fad's come from about lying down behind the wall.
Lying down on the ground, yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know where this all started from, but football's like 135 years old or whatever, and all of a sudden they've just realised, I've got an idea. Get
We can
one
lie
person
down.
to lie on his arse down behind the wall.
And it's always Trossard for us as well. It's
Yeah, it
always
is.
him.
That's a good shout, actually. Trossard seems to be the one that always gets a short straw.
Yeah, but where did it come from? Where in 135 years of football, how has this all of a sudden become a thing?
Ronaldinho was the first person I saw score from a free kick going underneath the wall, so I blame Ronaldinho.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. There's your answer, Stu. It's
Yeah, there's your
Ronaldinho.
answer.
Yeah, Blame him. So going on then, just a bit more about you, if you don't mind, Stu. Because obviously, with regards to your career and like what you're doing with Upload and stuff like that. Just the first question, I suppose, is how did that all come about? Obviously, you started Upload, and what made you go down that route?
So my background, I was head of sales for an events company that run something called the Insomnia Gaming Festival, which is basically it is what it says on the tin. It's all about video games, gaming festival. I'm not a gamer myself, but I think that's why I kind of made a good salesperson, because I didn't get wrapped up in the games.
Yeah.
But basically, it was a convention where 20,000 people come over the weekend. Try all the unreleased video games. There was a LAN party, which is basically 2,000 people take their PCs to the event and sit down and plug it all in and play Call of Duty against each other.
Sounds unreal.
Yeah.
Sign me up, Stu.
Oh yeah, it wasn't really my thing, but actually, funny enough, and that's the reason that they grew to hate me, all these people, because I was in charge of selling the exhibition space, the sponsorship, etc. And then we got the idea of bringing YouTubers to the event. So we'd get the YouTubers to go on their channel and say, hey, we're going to Insomnia Gaming Festival, come and meet us, etc. And from that, we got the Sidemen there, Joe Weller, Cal Freezy.
I used to watch their vlogs. They'll be like vlogging at Insomnia. I think
I was literally massive fanboy of all of that, watching all of those videos.
So I got to know them all quite well, and all of the company that I work for, they're all really kind of hardcore gamers that lived and died video games. And to be honest, I didn't give a shit about the video games. I was just there to have a good time.
Have a good time,
and
get paid.
Yeah, where's the bar?
So I saw these YouTubers bringing like 10,000 extra people to the event, which meant I could sell the exhibition space for more and stuff. But nobody gave a shit about them. Nobody was like making sure they're okay. So I ended up almost like their servant for the weekend. I was running them pizzas, getting them pissed in the bar after the day and stuff, and just built up a relationship with Sidemen and others. And then one day we were at E3, which is a convention in LA, and I was at a bar with Zerka and Mini Minter from the Sidemen, and they said, "Oh, we really need someone to help us." And with that, I just I said, "Okay, I'll do it," and quit my job and formed Upload. So we started from day one looking after the Sidemen as a business management team for the Sidemen. This was 6 years ago now. And from then we've kind of built the company to look after the vast majority of kind of male audience, YouTubers, lifestyle gaming, sports, etc.
Crazy. That's mad.
Yeah, how long did it take you to come up with that name?
I was a fan.
Sorry, how long did that take you to come up with the Upload name? pretty easy name.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I was kind of sat there and I assumed somebody would have taken the name and somebody didn't. So I was like, oh, that's brilliant. And then, that was quite an easy one, just purely because I think luck of the draw. Nobody else had taken that name, but it was just catchy and kind of does what it says on the tin. We all upload, right? That's what we'll be doing with this after.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah. No, that's what it says on the tin.
So then from LA with Zerka and Mini Minter, then you kind of, I think there was a couple of events you done, Upload events, where they're kind of YouTuber meet and greet stuff. And then obviously from that, go on. Shoot for that.
No, so we did the Upload events, which were effectively, I can say it now because I'm way past my anti-competes and stuff. Basically, we were ripping off Insomnia Gaming Festival and just taking the bits that we thought worked well, and even the bits that we didn't like, which was basically just meet and greets and just a chance to see the YouTubers on stage and kind of bring them to life. We did that for a couple of years. That was a separate company that myself and 5 of the Sidemen owned together, called Upload Events. I'm not very original with the names. Everything is called Upload.
The Upload umbrella.
Yeah. I've even got a shop in Romsey that does workwear and printing and embroidery, and it's called Upload Printing. It's nothing to do with it.
Just stick it on everything, Stu. Just whack it on everything. Yeah.
And then from the YouTube meet and greet,
broke, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, true. And then from the meet and greet, you then somehow stumbled into a massive YouTuber boxing fight between Joe Weller and KSI.
Yeah.
Apparently in Albert Square, I've got down on my notes. How did that come about?
Yeah, no, it did come up. Well, we did the Sidemen FC games first. That was kind of the next step after Upload, where we did the charity football matches. We did one at St Mary's, which was at St Mary's just because that was a condition. The first.
That was in the contract. Yeah.
No, they were like, we want to do a charity football match. I was like, okay, only if it's at St Mary's. Luckily, they went for that, so that was the reason it was there rather than. And then we went to Charlton and did two games there. And then kind of round the Sidemen house when they were all living together, and Joe Weller had posted something, and KSI was JJ was chatting to me and said, "Oh, I'd love to knock him out." I was like, "Oh, let's do it." So, can you do a boxing event?
That's unreal. I could do anything.
It kind of literally come from that, and of course, I've never done a boxing event before, so we just kind of winged it and went to the Copper Box Arena and asked to see their floor plan. Say, have you got any example floor plans of the boxing events that you do? And they showed us match rooms.
The Olympics, wasn't it?
Yeah,
they hosted the Olympics there as well. The boxing fights there.
Yeah. So
from AJ to KSI Joe Weller, basically.
Going up in the world.
Yeah, exactly. But it did all start at Albert Square. So actually.
The EastEnders set.
How did that come about?
For everyone, the listeners that don't know, that's the EastEnders set. Why that location?
So basically, after I told JJ that I had all this experience in running boxing events, obviously I didn't. I was running around going, I better find someone who knows what they're talking about here. And really weirdly, Spencer Oliver, who's a Sky pundit and a former professional boxer, and Jake Wood, who's Max Brannan off EastEnders, were running a celebrity boxing event, which is basically Towie people and stuff just in a hall, and they would sell tables, kind of all low key stuff. So I approached them and said, "Look, can you give us a hand? Because I needed to understand what licenses we need and what contracts and disclaimers, insurance and stuff." We met at Albert Square and kind of sat down in the Vic and they told us about what they were.
That's cool.
And from that, they put us in touch with the people that supply the rings and do the branding and stuff like that. And we basically just found out who Matchroom and Frank Warren use, and just copied everything basically.
What a success it was! A massive success. Yeah, credit to you.
Yeah, so I got away with telling JJ that I'd run boxing events before, just because we went and found people that did.
Yeah. I mean, you can't get any better than Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren. They're like Frank Warren's the OG in the game, and obviously Eddie Hearn and his dad are equally so. So you can't.
Eddie slagged off the event many times.
Oh really?
Until he saw the numbers.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I remember that.
For KSI v Joe Weller, Eddie Hearn had an event at the O2 Arena on the same night, and I think it was Chamberlain Akoli, I think, and they had about 4,000 or 5,000 people there max. Nobody was watching it on Sky, and in the meantime, we'd sold out the Copper Box in less than a day and had 2 million people watching.
Yeah,
so
it's crazy the power of YouTube and social media, though, isn't it? Like it is actually mad the amount of power that it holds. I mean. Even I mentioned it on the thing the other day about Spencer Owen and how he's managed to create a football club being a YouTuber. It's just like people wouldn't have even believed the amount of stuff you can do. And obviously with the boxing, fighting, it's just actually
it's
mad,
still underestimated
the
as
numbers
well.
It pulls. Yeah, you're right. And actually that leads on with Logan Paul, the Logan Paul fight. But I've heard Logan Paul's blocked you on Twitter. How's that happened?
Logan Paul's blocked me. I don't think we'll ever be best mates. I don't actually mind Logan that much. It's Jake. I can't stand Jake.
Jake.
Logan is actually all right. He's okay, and we've had a bit of back and forth. We were going to work together or with his management team building an event up, and they ended up trying to do it themselves and come up with this ridiculous concept where they were going to do athletics event.
That was a challenge? Yeah.
Oh, Challenger games. Yeah. Wow, what a flop that was.
Yeah, that was so bad. I remember that.
Not good.
Yeah, so yeah. Me and Logan don't get on too well. Or
Yeah, what happened with it then? What happened?
Do you know what? I can't actually remember why he blocked me, but I know that I ended up on. He was talking about me on a podcast and calling me a garbage can man, and God knows what else.
Bloody, yeah.
I think I just kept calling him out because he was posting videos saying that he's got holes in his brain and stuff like that. It's like, well, you're not going to be able to fight. You're not going to be able to get a pro license with a hole in your brain.
Yeah,
just basically calling out his bullshit every other.
Yeah, and I think there was a tweet he did as well where I think he called him out on another, where he tweeted about knife crime in London, I think it was, or something similar. It was where he was saying that if he goes to London, he'll get acid attacks and stabbed, basically. And you basically just called him out like, don't do that. And he blocked you on the result of it.
Yeah, no, it's probably... Loads of people have blocked me. Piers Morgan's blocked me.
It's a growing list.
I like antagonising people a bit on Twitter. Piers Morgan was the latest one to block me.
Oh, and he can't take his own. Yeah, he can't take his own medicine though, can he? And we've learned that recently.
Yeah,
walking off,
saw that the other day.
live off air.
Yeah.
What
a mug.
Yeah, exactly. So
embarrassing.
But yeah, I mean, with Logan or with Jake, should I say? I'm hoping that Jake hasn't got a clause in his contract for his next fight, because if he hasn't, he'll get knocked out. But something tells me that he's probably negotiated a win clause into his contract. Yeah. It's going to be an exhibition match.
Well, yeah, I was. Yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, go on.
No, yeah, I was just going to say, actually, like, funnily enough, we're going to ask you about Jake Paul. Obviously, he's fighting Ben Askren, which is, arguably, he definitely his best matchups today, because he's fought a basketball player and a YouTuber. So, I mean, he's not really got a resume. So Ben Askren is definitely by far the best he's fighting. How do you see that fight going, and do you want to see him get absolutely laid out?
To be honest, I'll be fast asleep. I've got no interest in watching it. I just hope when I wake up that there's just memes of him lying on the deck. Yeah. But I don't think. I don't think that it's or that I would question. I'll have to be careful with my wording here because I'll have their lawyers on me. But I would question what's in the contract, and I would allege that there's probably something in there that says that Ben Askren's going to lose.
Really?
That's what you think? I would say that he's probably taken a bit of a wage to not win. I hope I'm wrong, because if I am wrong and that's not in the contract, I think Jake will get knocked out. But I kind of as well don't want Jake to get knocked out, because I would like him to fight Tommy Fury, because Tommy Fury would knock him out.
Yeah, that would be class.
He needs to fight a proper boxer. Because
what about 2 seconds? What about JJ? Do you reckon we'll ever see him fight, and maybe back in England? Because that's the one that all the fans are looking for: KSI versus Jake.
Do you know what? JJ wants it, and I think if it happens, it will be next year. Personally, I think that I think the ship has sailed, and that's what I'd say to JJ as well. Just on personal opinion, I think the ship sailed on the YouTube boxing. I think that Logan and Jake have taken it somewhere, certainly where I never wanted it to go, in terms of all these Mickey Mouse, fight Floyd Mayweather, fight Ben Askren, fight random NBA people. When we were doing it in the UK, it was just about a white-collar dust-up. There was no rules or anything. They had to put head guards on, because that's the law for white-collar, but it was just get in the ring and fight. And every fight was genuine, and people going at it, and whoever won. Not this kind of exhibition style boxing, and that's not what it is. It's not WWE. I'm a massive boxing fan, so for me it was all about respecting boxing and respecting boxers. I'm friends with a lot of pro boxers, and I think they've taken it somewhere other. In fair play to them, they'll make a good amount of cash out of it, but it doesn't sit right for me, which is why we're not really getting involved. I see Deji's going to fight again, and I think boxing's gone now. Myself, I think it's on to the next thing. I think there will be some new events once COVID permitting.
What are your predictions? What's the next thing? I remember Bazinga talking about making a darts tournament or something like that, and people could go watch the side play darts. Something like that.
That'd be sick. That'd actually be sick.
Yeah, it can be absolutely anything. I think as long as it's fresh, it's new, then people will watch it. I think the boxing one now has been churned out, and I think it's been Americanized now.
Yeah.
Like Deji, I love Deji to bits, but I can't see anyone being interested in seeing him fight. I just
nah.
I think people will catch up on Twitter, and even if he does end up fighting someone like Anderson Gibb again, I think that moment's gone. And the YouTube boxing that we built is it's been bastardized a bit by the Paul brothers, and is kind of not much point going back now because it's been, in my mind anyway, it's been kind of the hype's been killed off of it.
For sure, and also one bit I took out from what you said about Ben Askren potentially throwing it. That's actually genuinely that's been like a conspiracy theory I've had for a couple of months now. Where I do feel some of these fights have been thrown, and I just look at some of the fights and think, how has he won? Do you know what I mean? He's not okay. He's been training really hard, etc., etc. But can he really be if he beats Ben Askren? I'm wondering come on, has he actually taken a fall here or that kind of thing? I don't know how true that is. Have you experienced that in the past with fighters and stuff?
Do you know what? The Paul brother, the Paul, not the Pauls themselves, but their management may have suggested to us at some point when we first started negotiations that the result should be dictated. There goes an exclusive for you. Obviously, that was a straight off the bat no from us. But when we were looking at a 2 or 3 fight deal, there was and it was just, I'd have to say this for legal reasons, it was a passing comment. But they said, well, if the result goes the right way, there'll be it will set it up well for a rematch. And stuff. And we're like, well, we're not doing that. It's a fight, and the winner wins. And as it happened, it ended up a draw, which was the worst possible result.
Yeah.
Because you need revenge or retribution storyline. Draw's no good. So people going, it's such a setup. It's a draw.
That's what.
Meant to be a draw. It's it was literally the worst result possible because you didn't have that revenge or retribution. What you needed was one person put on the deck and getting back up and going, I'm going to get you next time.
Fury versus Wilder kind of thing, where he came off the deck and came back. Yeah, exactly.
Draws will always look sketchy though, won't they? In boxing, it'll always just look like it's a money move. Whenever there's a draw, people will always assume that it's a money move, not anything other. But
credit to you for dealing with the Pauls. I remember when the first or the second fight was going on, and even just Jake, their tactics are crazy. So Jake would have a fake contract he'd put on his Instagram story of a contract of 100 pages saying, we've got the contract, we've signed it. And then we'll go back to JJ the next week and he's like, there's literally no contract. We're waiting for you to sign it, if anything. And I can't imagine all their fake tactics are ridiculous.
Oh yeah, no, that particular one. I think you're talking about when Logan went into the Mayweather gym and goes, "Here's a contract." The actual story on that, I was sat on the phone, or sat by the computer waiting for a Skype call with them to sign off the contract and to discuss the final terms of the contract. They missed that call because they were on a private jet flying to Vegas to record this video waving a fake contract going, hey, sign the contract. So they actually bumped the meeting to get the contract signed to go and make a video saying sign the contract. But yeah,
from the outside, it looks like the UK team were trying to do serious business and the Americans are trying to make it like some sort of drama.
Like a drama. Yeah. TV show.
No, everything was a drama. It was,
like a soap opera.
They had Beverly Hills lawyers that they were speaking through and I don't know how the Pauls get anything done with the management team that they've got.
Manager Jeff. Manager Jeff.
It sounds awful. Sounds absolutely dreadful.
Yeah, I like Jeff. Jeff's a good lad, but he's not the most proactive. But then the rest of the team they got around him is.
That's just proactive. Not being proactive is just another way of you saying he's lazy, isn't it, Stu? I see your game.
Well, take that.
I got your number. I got your number, Stu. I got your number. And then just quickly, we had a couple of questions as well from Twitter and stuff. So we had from Instagram as well. So from Sal 1011 or whatever, he asked, "Is Zerka actually boring?" That was the first question. Is he actually boring? Because he's got a persona online to be. Well, he's considered the boring one out the Sidemen. Is that true?
It's tagline, isn't it?
No,
I reckon he's the clever one more.
Yeah. He's definitely the clever one.
He's the brains.
He's the bright one. He actually owns a significant shareholding in an upload agency as well. So we do business together as well. No, he's definitely not boring. He's one of the nicest guys that you'll meet and genuine.
Yeah, seems it.
And stuff. But no, he's a good laugh. He is a good laugh.
Nice.
There's one here.
He's not boring.
This one's anonymous, I think, but it says which Sidemen is the most different off screen than on. So who's the most different?
Do you know what? I am going to say JJ, 100%.
I can see that. Quiet. I can see that as well.
Quiet off camera.
Do you know JJ's talent? He's got his the way he is. Obviously, he's really loud in your face. He's not been without controversy over the years. But he is the most genuine and humble person when you're face to face with him.
Believe it.
He's quiet, he's polite, and he'll do anything for any of his friends. So I would probably say JJ.
Yeah,
he gives a lot of money to charity and stuff, doesn't he? I've seen a lot of stuff that he does for community work. Yeah. He's always up for helping people out, and I think on that One Question Go series, it was just giving away money to people for literally nothing, and it just seems like that sort of guy. That's exactly him. He's like super generous, probably too generous, and too generous, and sees the good in everyone. But yeah, he is a real down to earth, humble guy that's very loyal to the people around him as well. Yeah,
and
you love to hear that. To be fair,
Is he one of those? Oh, go on, Ben.
No, you shoot.
Oh, go on. No, I was just going to say, when you talk about him being generous stuff, like, has there been any cases where he's like either splashed out on you or any of the boys, like, just treated you for whatever it might be? Do you mean by that kind of generous, or?
Yeah, well, he'll always offer to pick up a restaurant bill and stuff. You see the boys, he's always treating them to stuff. He's taken all of his mates over to. I think I'm a bit too old to get the invite, although I am still pretty cool. He's taken everyone on holiday before to IB for rented yachts out and flown everyone over there as mates and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Dreams.
yeah. I think that all goes kind of unnoticed because people look at the content and think, he's just going to be loud and mad in real life as well. But actually, in more ways than one, obviously through gifts and doing nice stuff and stuff, he's been super generous. But also the whole UK ecosystem, certainly in the space we're in, revolves around the success of KSI almost. He's almost the Bitcoin of influencers. If the Bitcoin's doing well, then the other coins end up benefiting from it. Yeah, I've got some.
It's mad that it's mad his it's mad his impact on, like, he doesn't. I don't even think he realizes what he could do. He could literally change someone's life with a retweet. I don't think he even realised he could do that, or a quick shout out. He could just change someone's life, and it's as simple as that. And that to me is just insane. I've watched him since he was
his influence is
2011. Yeah, and now he's just like the GOAT of UK YouTube, and I think that's as simple as that, really.
Yeah, basically what we're trying to say is, if you can get us into the Sidemen, that would be fantastic.
Where's our invites to these yachts?
Yeah. If we can just get a holiday out of it, a free holiday, Stu, that's all I'm asking for, mate. That's all I need.
Yeah. Go to IB for on his yacht.
Yeah.
Well, the last thing we're asking.
I've started a rumour there that he's got a yacht.
It's going to be a world exclusive. He's got a yacht.
Yeah, see that in the sun tomorrow. And then, lastly, Stu, I think one thing we'll ask for you: would you ever promote a Seagulls Social boxing fight between Maz and Ryan? I think the audience will know what we're talking about.
Yeah, the audience have asked for it. The audience want me and Ryan to have a fight. Would you promote it?
And who do you think would win as well?
Oh, Ben, that's not part of the question, but you added that in there.
Yeah, no, we've done events at the Amex before. We did a Sidemen event there. Did a Sidemen VIP event. Yeah.
Oh,
cool.
sick.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh man, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. We did a before we did the upload event. One of the first things that we did was have Sidemen VIP tours where we sold 150 tickets, and fans just got to come and hang out with them for like 4 hours,
right.
do a Q&A,
I didn't know that.
autographs and stuff like that. So I can think there's a good little suite, and I'm not sure how big a numbers you'll be able to do. I'm not sure Manchester Arena.
Oh, don't worry about numbers, mate. We'll
Stu,
sort that.
come on. Stu,
We've been contacted by
Don't be
Manscaped,
like
Stu. That says it all. Manscaped.
I've got
contacted us.
6,000
That says it
followers
all,
on
mate.
Twitter now, Stu. I don't think you realise who you're speaking to.
He's made the YouTube scene, Ryan has.
Yeah. We've got 2K subs, mate. You don't know how big we are.
Yeah.
But no.
I'll tell you one thing I've noticed is how red I am. Maybe it's a lighting or something, but I've had my COVID vaccine today, and
You're blowing up.
I look a bit
Be
red.
going wings soon.
Yeah, maybe you should have.
It
Maybe.
looks like my face is clotting up, like into one big
Feathers.
No, Stu, you look beautiful, mate. You look beautiful. But yeah, just going back to the fight, Stu. If you can make that happen, that'd be great. We'll take 10% if that's all right. 10%. That's
I'll
low
take
for
15,
you.
take 10.
I guess it's a pint, isn't it?
Yeah. The revenue share of the ticket sales will probably be about 30 quid. So I get 3 quid out of it. Unbelievable scenes.
And then who do you think would win? Sorry, Stu. Who do you think would win?
Go on, Ben.
Just between Maz and Ryan.
Who's going to win?
Yeah, who would win a cheeky boxing fight?
Oh, it's Ryan, isn't it?
Oh my god, I'm having that.
Oh,
I've got 10 years on him as well, so that's easy.
Stu, I liked you as well. I liked you, and then now it's all gone down.
It's a quieter one to win, isn't it?
Yeah, that is true.
That's why Vic Star would beat Logan Paul. That's why, because he's the quiet one. Vic Star, he's the true boxing champion.
Vic Star. That's how we'd bill it. I'd play the Vic Star card and just be like the Asian guy who doesn't look like he's going to win, but I'll come out fighting and go for it. That's what I'm going to do.
I've got a mixed Asian gene, so
yeah. And then final one, Stu, for you. Just obviously, you announced on Twitter today actually that you've secured 3 million in sponsorship. Is that right? Or branding? Is that correct?
Yeah, we've done so far this year over £3 million worth of brand deals for our creators. Yeah,
mad,
incredible.
That's
And so,
insane.
what are the next steps then? Obviously, that you're expanding, you're growing. What's like the dream for you guys at Upload? Is like, what's the final goal if there is one?
To be honest, it not much different. We just want to make more money for creators in kind of stay in our lane. You see a lot of agencies, they'll try and kind of spread their wings as far as they can, and kind of look after different types of YouTubers, all different types of audiences and stuff, and try and have a bit of everything. We're very much male audience YouTubers that we look after, and just keep generating more revenue for our creators. I think there'll be another event or two that we're going to look to do. We have a merchandise business as well, so we've got a warehouse in Southampton and printing and embroidery and stuff where we do all the merch for a whole host of people, from the Cal Freezy Crocs hoodies and stuff right through to Katie Price merch that we're going to launch soon.
You got Katie Price.
You should do a Crocs Pricey collab, mate. That would fly off the
We're
shelves.
working with Katie Price on a few things, yeah.
Oh, unreal!
Really?
What signing that
She
is?
lives
Brighton's
near me.
Brighton's finest. Yeah,
Brighton's finest.
I used to always see her driving through my village. Some weird plane.
in her big
pink Range Rover.
Yeah, pink Range Rover. That's nice.
always around. Yeah, not so much anymore.
You know what?
but used to be.
Genuinely, she is such a nice woman as well.
I've heard that.
Really?
Down to earth, and there's no. I mean, she's out there to make money, right, and to build her own empire, and doesn't give a shit what people think and stuff. But she's very much on everyone's level, and she don't think she's better than anyone or anything like that.
Really?
She genuinely is she generally is a cool person, and she knows what she's doing, right? She knows that she can how to make money, and it's always done well for her. And then she goes and spends it all, and has to make some more. And,
I've got a really embarrassing story about meeting Katie
Shane
Price.
Duffy.
No, not Shane Duffy. No, I was probably about
That's got to be
about 12 years old.
Shane.
This is going to be really embarrassing, and I hate saying it, but they were at this kind of like party in Shoreham, and my parents were invited. It was like a day thing. People brought their kids, and I was one of the kids. And Katie Price and Peter Andre were there, and everyone was kind of like meeting them in the lounge. It was really weird. And then I went to the toilet upstairs, and in the bathroom they had like a headrest in the bath, but it was a pair of breasts, like inflatable breasts that the guy would rest his head on. So being a child, I thought this would be funny. Put it underneath my top, walked downstairs into the living room where she was, and like started flaunting myself around her, pretending to be her. And it was just luckily everyone started laughing. And then my dad grabbed me by the shoulder and literally ripped me out. I was like, I'm so sorry, Dad. Yeah,
Simon wasn't having any of it.
Simon was fuming. Yeah, that's my story about Katie Price. But
That's brilliant, to be fair. I mean, a very weird thing to have in her bathroom, but I mean, yeah, it is Katie Price after all, isn't it? So it doesn't really surprise me, to be fair. But no, I mean, look, it sounds incredible. And then, what was the, sorry, we sort of got you halfway. What's the final sort of goal for you guys? And I suppose, I know you mentioned sort of staying in your lane and stuff like that, but yeah, do you ever want to venture to anything else and dabble in anything else too?
I don't think so. I think we'd do a few more events, maybe production events. We worked with Foot Asylum last year doing a Big Brother style show called Locked In.
That was sick. I watched that. Yeah.
So stuff like that, in kind of being involved in the legacy of YouTube and TV as they collide, kind of bridging them together, because I think people from TV are in for a shock, because a vast majority of them are dinosaurs that don't get this world that we're in. And I think they've either got to get with it and embrace it, or they're going to find themselves in a lot of trouble. Even only last week, so we had a Sidemen video planned that was due to be filmed on Friday. I won't name, but it was for a well-known prime-time game show, let's say. And it was all sorted. We were all going to go up there on Friday and film it for a Sidemen Sunday video. They were going to lend us a set, and I was like, do you know what? Finally, I think we've broke it now, and they actually understand that we need to work together. TV and YouTube need to work together. And we were going to film this Sidemen Sunday video on this game show set, all the music, everything. So increase the quality even more so of the Sidemen Sunday videos, and whilst also giving a huge value to this game show. And then literally the night before, one of the directors of ITV, there you go, I've narrowed it down a little bit more.
The Chase.
The Chase.
I won't guess.
Jumped in and
he's in trouble now.
Pulled the rug from underneath us and said, no, we're not doing it now. Literally the night before, when we had flights, we had trains booked, hotels booked, etc. And
that's crazy.
And what that would have been is some guy in a suit in his 60s, or woman, sorry, make sure of that. Some guy or woman in their 60s that hasn't got a clue about YouTube and is so defensive about YouTube, and doesn't get it, is now just pissed off the Sidemen, and now that particular show are going to come to them one day asking for help, and it's going to be a big fat no.
The thing that's mad for me is the fact Sidemen Sundays, we know the views are incredible, like 10 million views plus every single Sunday. And then you look at I'm a Celebrity and Strictly Come Dancing, they're kind of the similar figures to what they would get on their Saturday night show. So, which is just mental that a YouTube show will get the same amount as a national television show like I'm a Celebrity and Strictly Come Dancing and stuff like that. It's mind blowing, and obviously it's crazy that people can't pick that up yet.
So I think So I think that's that for me in trying to fight and bridge that gap and get TV to understand, because a YouTuber version of I'm a Celebrity, for example,
that would bang.
It would be if they just use the same set, they could use it the week before or the week after. Use the same crew cast, but the numbers would be more probably than if they had the right people on there than it would be for the main show. So stuff.
If you
like
have KSI and that on there, it's instantly going to get massive numbers, isn't it? I mean, you think not just him, but with all of those sort of big names. I mean, it's just it's unimaginable numbers, really.
We have people like SAS Who Dare Wins came to us looking for a YouTuber to go on there. We gave them
Jack Maynard went on it, didn't he?
I think Jack went on it once, But for the next upcoming series, we gave him a YouTuber who would have been absolutely perfect for it. and would have got the whole community going. And they've gone with some random person from daytime TV that's on a show that gets maybe 100,000 views and no one really knows who they are. And you think, why didn't you go for this particular YouTuber? If you look at Soccer Aid with Chunks and Philly,
man,
more social engagement about Chunks and Philly than there was everyone else put together.
Even Joe Weller done that.
madness.
Don't Rock the Boat, didn't he, as well? And I think that was the only reason why people probably watched that show, because he was doing it.
Yeah. So I guess that's one of the biggest projects for me in my mind, is trying to get rid of the resistance from TV and get them to embrace YouTube. Because if they don't, they're just going to lose at the end of the day.
Yeah,
it's a weird type of fame, isn't it? Because it's like as I said, it's such an underrated fame that like mainstream people don't really get. And I think, as we said, like KSI is starting to break into it. I think he's made a few like daytime television appearances now.
Yeah, Gogglebox,
and
one of them.
Yeah, and he was on that morning show as well, ITV one, Lorraine or something.
Oh, Lorraine.
Yeah, Lorraine, wasn't it? Yeah, he was on that as well. So yeah, like it's such an underrated. It's a weird fame, isn't it? Because it's one that people wouldn't really think is like a big A-lister sort of fame, but the numbers are like so high that they are that level, but you don't really appreciate it.
It's because it's like when you're growing up, people didn't, obviously, because YouTube's only been around for 10, 15 years. No one grew up like going, oh, I want to be a YouTuber, and like people don't, like Stu was saying, these 60-year-olds, like all the careers they're thinking, like lawyers, doctors, and these classic sort of occupations, they look down on YouTubers because they're like, it's not a real job, it's not a real occupation. And I think that's the big thing, and fair play to you, Stu, for trying to sort of bridge that gap and trying to sort of smash through the market, because I think that's what it needs. Like you need someone like yourself to do that, because otherwise who's going to do it, and how are we going to basically smash that market through,
Well, yeah, that's it. There's so much ignorance and resistance in the TV world. I mean, we've spoke with various agents TV agents over the last couple of months, saying, look, let's work together because our worlds are going to collide soon, but they don't want to know ultimately. But we know that, I don't know, you've probably seen stereo brand deals flying around in the last
So many.
So I've got Katie Price, one of them. That's how we become friends. And Peter Andre. But if you look at the so stereo spent a huge amount of money.
I was going to say their budget must be mental from what they've done.
Yeah. So they spent a huge amount of money across all sectors, and by far the YouTubers outperform everybody else. They've got A-list celebs on there and stuff that actually are only getting 200 or 300 people listening to their to their podcasts or their shows on stereo, whereas the YouTubers are getting thousands and thousands of concurrent viewers and have already got 50,000 followers on the app and stuff, and are absolutely smashing. And that's always been the case with even footballers and stuff. If you look at a footballer, they'll cost 3 or 4 times the amount of a YouTuber to get them to do an appearance or whatever. But if you got Wayne Rooney to post an Instagram post, or a good example is Raheem Sterling and Chunks, because we look after Chunks as well. We did a Pepsi deal. If you look at Raheem Sterling's Pepsi post and Chunks one's about 3 times the engagement, the views.
Engagement,
It's crazy, isn't it? It's actually crazy.
It's exactly the same post. It's a cut of their Pepsi video. But traditionalists and traditional marketers just naturally assume that Raheem Sterling is the influencer and not.
It's because Raheem doesn't have that engaged audience, does he? So Chunks obviously engages with his audience on socials literally every day. He'll be doing a story, he'll be doing a YouTube video, he'll be doing something to engage his audience, and he has that core audience that will follow him to death, Whereas Raheem Sterling, he doesn't have that on socials. He might have it in real life or like in the stands, but he doesn't have it where it matters most, on the phone or on Instagram or on Twitter, etc.
He's a Man City player. When he leaves Man City for somewhere else, he becomes somebody else's hero, like Lallana. I think he's a twat.
Come full circle, haven't we?
But I used to absolutely dote on him and used to think he was the best thing since sliced bread. And so
he still is.
That doesn't happen on YouTube.
Going back to Brighton actually and Lallana, there was a tweet just put on from the club, and they put on about Did you enjoy that at Adam Lallana? And he's literally going absolutely mad when we scored that second goal. And I didn't actually realise that he was going mad when he scored
apparently he celebrated really, but like a madman apparently, which I don't think.
Yeah, or it was the first goal actually. I think Dunk's goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, too right. So it should. It's like Arsenal fans were going mental when Walcott scored against them this season. With us, it's like, why wouldn't he celebrate? He's just come back to the club that he was in with since he was 8 years old, and he scored a goal. It's another one of my pet hates that old players shouldn't celebrate against their former team.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what's your thought on that? Because I think it's quite a hit and miss thing, isn't it? Like some people really hate it and they want them to just not celebrate, and others just like don't really care.
Yeah, the iconic
they can celebrate.
The Adebayor Man City one, that was the iconic one when he ran across the pitch and gave it to Arsenal. That was incredible.
Yeah, we I always remember Kevin Phillips when he left us for West Brom. But on the way out, he basically he didn't need to. He just said, I didn't want to go to Southampton anyway, and everyone was like, bollocks. And then his missus shagged the Vodafone salesman from the local Vodafone shop. So literally, we're in the Northern just giving him abuse the whole game and stuff. And I think the whole of Northern stand, or the whole of St Mary's, stand up if you shag Kev's wife, and the whole stadium's standing up, and of course, what happens? He goes and scores, doesn't he? And does pretty much a lap of
Wallagham. That's deserved, isn't it? You deserve
Jamie
that.
Vardy.
Jamie
Vardy's a prime example, and he just gives it back every time. But he's got the ability to do it, so he can.
I love it,
and I'll do exactly the same. Exactly the same.
But that's what that's what football should be. I mean, I looking at all the it always comes back Walcott on the stretcher walking past going 2-0 to the Spurs fans. And they're going absolutely mental. It's like you're literally giving him shit because he's just busted his leg. And he's going 2-0 and now they look as though they're going to explode or something. It's like,
what do you expect? Yeah. Exactly.
Can't take it back.
No,
Don't give it if you can't take it.
No, 100%.
Exactly.
But no, Stuart, look, you've been a fantastic guest. We've enjoyed everything.
Thank you very much.
All the Saints chat, all the football chat, all the YouTube chat. It's been incredible.
Sidemen clickbait chat.
Any suggestions on the title for the podcast, Stu, for YouTube? What are we thinking? KSI Logan versus Stuart Jones, Sidemen Manager.
No, get some video titles out of it. Just put the Sidemen in. Don't put my name in. Just put Sidemen in.
For KSI, it's done.
But no, honestly, Stu, you've been a fantastic guest, and we really appreciate your time. And hopefully we'll have you back for next season when we play you again. Hopefully.
One of us doesn't get relegated.
If we're still in the league. Less of that, Stu. I should get your one rescinded. But no, thank you very much. You've been fantastic.
No,
cheers, Stu.
Cheers.
All right, there we go. We had Stuart Jones of Upload, a fantastic guest. Really, really good to have him on. So, what geezer
what a
he
dream
was.
job. What a dream job.
Yeah. Mate, my whole fanboyness nearly came out there. Like the KSI chat. Watching KSI when I was a little kid, I just had to be quiet, I think. I was just being the quiet one today.
It's mad though, isn't it? Like you said, Ben, like imagine just being in that world when it was all kicking off, like just being like one of the focal figures of like all the fights and behind it all, like kicking off.
Beefing Logan.
So really appreciate beefing Logan, having Logan block you is pretty decent. But right, let's quickly crack on then with a couple of other talking points that we wanted to cover. So the first one, obviously, I don't anyone see it on socials. The Crystal Palace fans basically were basically really happy about Zaha and his being a loyal player. Apparently, now Ryan, we're not having it, are we? We're not having this.
Dumb.
With him being loyal.
Dumb. Dumb.
What
How can you even say that Zaha's loyal? He's not loyal. He literally wanted to leave for the last 5 years. He put in so many transfer requests. He literally did leave for Man United. How you can ever say that Zaha's loyal? You are dumb. You're actually stupid. I'm sorry.
It's mad.
It was the tweet I saw was they don't make loyalty like this anymore, and it's just like even like other football fans other than Brighton fans were like in the chat being like, mate, he left and he wants to leave. He always wants to leave.
To be fair, Lewis Dunk put in a transfer request in 2015, didn't he? So when we were saying Dunky, it was he did put in a transfer request, to be fair. But
that was when we were back in the Championship, and it was kind of looking like it was going to happen. And
Yeah.
obviously, then he was linked with Chelsea and he signed a contract and in the summer. So if that's not a loyalty, then I don't know what is. But yeah,
no, fair.
them saying Zaha was ultimate loyalty is a bit of a joke.
But then it was like we talk about obviously the transfer request for Dunkey with Zaha. He went to Cardiff? No, where was it? He went to Man United, then somewhere else, and then went back to Palace.
Did he go Cardiff on? Yeah, Cardiff
on loan, wasn't it?
And then and then went to
Oh
Palace.
yeah.
So it's like it's not like he's just put a transfer request and not left. He's actually left the club, and that kind of thing. So I just bizarre. But yeah, anyway, that's that covered off.
I saw him not
and then,
take
of course,
the knee, though.
Yes, yeah. That was a big controversial. I mean, it's not really controversial. It's his decision. It's his, it's how he wants to approach the situation. It's down to him, isn't it, at the end of the day? And a lot of people backed him. A lot of people went against him. So it was very split. Like, I think it split a lot of people, didn't it? With that. So yeah, he's always in the news for something, isn't he? That Zaha loves it. Right, and then the call-ups, international call-ups. Obviously we got Big Bobby Sanchez. How did he get a call-up to the Spain squad? What a guy! What a legend!
Unreal. From Forest Green, Rochdale, and then Spain. What a bloke! What a dream move. Did you see the way they announced their squads as well? By the way, like where they have they do these really really random squad announcement videos. Like the one before today, they were like driving around the city in Spain, and then they'd have these different number plates that said the squad player names. And in today's one, they were in like the office of like the Spanish headquarters, and they had like these QR codes on the wall like everywhere. And then Luis Enrique, the manager, would go up to the wall with an iPad, and then the iPad would show the player from the like QR code. They do these, it's just really weird squad announcements, basically. Almost like the weird transfer announcements. But yeah, no, fair play to Sanchez. What a bloke, man. I'm kind of glad he joined. I'm glad he picked Spain. I don't know about you boys. What do you reckon?
Yeah, no, I mean, with Bobby Sanchez, I think his rise has been mad. Like, I think you, Ryan, you tweeted about how he went on loan to Rochdale and then came back, and to get in the Spain squad was just mental, innit?
Yeah, the tweet, I got it. It said 7th of March 2020, in goal for Rochdale in League One. Summer 2020, 4th choice goalkeeper for Brighton, and then 15th of March 2021, he's a Spanish international. Like, that's just mad. Like, that is just incredible. And to be fair, 392 likes. What? 392 likes, mad, but yeah, crazy.
Yeah,
I didn't realise I had that many. I had like 100.
No, it is mad. Like his rise, and it's I think it's well deserved. Like, he's been shaky. He's had a couple of moments, and but he's 23 years old. He's still a young keeper, and of course, he's only going to get better, hopefully. So yeah, fair play to the lad, mate. Him and David De Gea battling out for the number 1 jersey. That's going to be a very interesting one.
Mate, he's better than De Gea. De Gea keeps dropping the ball. Sanchez would never, ignoring Leicester.
Eradicate Leicester from your memories, and he never did. He's never done anything bad.
Yeah.
And then we talk
My
about
grandmother had will should be a bite.
And then international call-ups as well. Let's just cover off that for England as well, 'cause the squad's getting announced, isn't it? Next week. So Thursday. Sorry, this week. Yeah, this week.
Thursday,
sorry. Lewis Dunk, Ben White. Are we having anyone in the England squad? Ben, start with you. Any Brighton players?
Lewis, I don't know. I think the fact he scored, it just, again, he puts himself in the media again. Brighton are tweeting about him every single hour. I think, surely, if there's ever a time to do it, it would be now. Surely. Like this, I know we say it every single time, but if it's not now, it won't ever be ever again. But, yeah, I just think he really does deserve it. Ben White, I mean, he could probably do with a call-up, but I don't think there's enough room for 2 Brighton players. Let alone one.
I don't think
the quota's only 1. Yeah.
I don't think Ben White's England standard yet, if I'm being honest.
Yes, I agree.
I think Dunk is. I think Dunk has been for 3 years now. 2 years maybe. I don't think that White is ready yet.
Sky Sports Stato tweeted, no central defender has scored more PL goals than Lewis Dunk since his debut in the competition in August 2017. He's with 10 goals, I think.
That's mad.
He's a leading goal scorer for the Premier League. So just get him in the squad, Gareth. Get him in. Jesus.
You know what? What's actually funny? He actually hasn't even been our best centre back this season. Like, I'd argue that 2019 time when he wasn't in it was genuinely a shock, because I was thinking, how on earth is he not here? The 1920 season, he was absolutely untouched. I thought in the Premier League, I thought he was one of the best centre backs in the league that season, and barely anyone came close apart from the likes of Van Dijk and that. And anyone could call me deluded, but look at the stats and just shut up. So honestly, I don't know how he wasn't in that team. And now I'd actually argue if anything, he probably wouldn't. He'd be more justified if he wasn't now than he wasn't then, if you know what I mean. But
Yeah.
I don't know. He probably won't be anyway because Southgate doesn't have a clue what he's doing. All the time we've got him, we're not going to win anything. Seriously, we've got such a good team. Yeah, we've got genuinely. I'm going to speak about England a bit because we've got such a good team. Right, going into the Euros, I'd like to think that we are going to be up there with. We should be up there with the best in that competition. I think because
especially going forward as well.
Going forward, midfield, even defence, I think we've got all round. I think we're stacked with good talent. But because we've got Southgate, we're going to be starting with Maguire. We're going to be starting with Pickford. We're going to be starting with all his favourites from the 2018 tournament. Yeah. We're not going to be including any of the ones that should be there, and that's what's just going to cost us. And it's such a shame because I want to get behind the team and all that, but I just can't get behind the fact that favouritism is going to come through again.
Yeah, it's a shame. Well, what can we do, boys? I'll be honest with you, Ryan. Go on,
you mentioned Maguire, and he came out in the press, didn't he, saying that his ideal centre-back partner for Man United would be Ben White because he's English-speaking.
Yeah.
That's quite a sweeping statement to say. Not only for the Man United centre-backs that Lindelof and Bailly, you're probably thinking, hold on, mate.
Cheers, lads.
Cheers for digging us out and saying we're not good enough. But the fact that Ben White, you could... Who else... Other players he could have picked constant.
He's got the potential, isn't he? He's got the potential. There's no doubt in that. I just don't think
the ceiling's there. The ceiling's there, but I like what you said, Ryan, earlier. He's not for me. He's definitely not England standard. It's not with the players that are playing.
He shouldn't be having the weight of a Man United shirt on. I don't think because that comes with a lot of weight. You see Maguire.
But then would you argue though, Ryan? Would you argue though? Has he got a higher ceiling than Maguire? I think he does.
Oh God, definitely. Definitely. But I don't think he's ready yet. I'd like him to be ready for it. If I was being the one who's a fan of the club, I'd want him to be ready to go there so he doesn't embarrass himself like Maguire did. He made an absolute fool of himself. To be fair, he put in a good performance the other night, and he's a good defender. He's a good out-and-out, centre back. But I don't think, I don't think it's fair on White yet to call him up to a team like that. And plus, to be fair, the whole Maguire calling him out thing, it was obviously just agent talking it. It's just what it is. It's just trying to drum up money. White's agent, you know what he's like. He's going to be trying to get the best payroll, so he probably welcomed it. So if he goes, he goes. I'm not too fussed. I won't be. Oh no, Ben White's
gone. Matt Clark anyway, mate. We got Matt Clark.
Matt Clark, Ostergaard will be stacked, mate. It's fine.
Yeah,
Van der Heck as well.
All Gucci in the Brightonia. Right, and then final boys, Newcastle preview, going into massive game, obviously.
Headbands.
Yeah, talking of Gucci headbands, but he's out, isn't he? They got big players missing, Wilson missing, Almiron, Maximan. They got a lot of injuries. And their team is awful. So Ryan, let's start with you. They are looking really, really vulnerable, and they're on a terrible run of form. Is this nailed on, or do you think it's still Brighton being Brighton?
Well, it should be nailed on. It should be a win, but they play into the fact of the low block. It's going to be hard to beat them. We can't run them around, and I think that's what we're going to struggle with. They don't have, anyone now that they have to threaten because their threatening players are out. So I've spoke to a lot of Newcastle fans. I don't want to be the jinx because I totally can see it happening. Now I've said that they're going to go beat us, but I've seen that. I've spoke to a lot of their fans, and they said that they're not very good, and they'd be very surprised if they did stay up this season. And that's even when Maximan and that comes back, they're still pretty done. So I'd like to think that going into Newcastle, that's 3 points, and if we can get those 3 points, we'll be thinking we're okay. That would be the healthy position.
I don't know just yet.
But the pressure's on them then. The pressure's on Newcastle then. It's no longer on our shoulders. 6 points clear of them or whatever it is. We'll be thinking, okay, that's breathing room. You can mess up again. You can go to Man City and you can get beaten. But I think it should be a win personally.
Yeah, we're the confident team going into it. Realistically, it was a decent win against Southampton. I know they've been pretty poor recently. Their form has been abysmal actually. But the confidence is high anyway. There's so many games where we've deserved to win and we haven't, and we finally did win. And what a boost that'll be to the team.
But then also as well,
I know Newcastle scored a 94th minute.
I was about to say that,
Their confidence might be a bit high, but At the same time, they would probably be hoping that they were going to maybe beat Villa at home, but they didn't. They had to break.
And also seeing us win as well, that might be like, oh shit, they're going to come into the game with full of confidence, and rightly so. Like we're actually playing really good football, like we have been for a good long period. It's just not, we're not taking our chances. All the things we mention on the pod every week. But like, it's that now that we actually, I think I tweeted, wasn't it? It was like we actually took our chances. We scored from a set piece. We were clinical. Like we overperformed XG. Like. All the things that we usually don't do, we did in the last game. So can we do it again against Newcastle? If we can, for me, there's no doubt about it, we will win. But can we do that? That's the big question mark. Like, can we carry on doing what we did last game? Yeah,
I think we can. I think we will.
I'd love to see the Brighton that played them in the reverse fixture turn up again. Yeah, that's probably one of my favourite matches.
Yeah, we only
Yeah.
scored. It's the only game we've scored more than 2 goals in it, I think.
Probably.
More than 2 this season, yeah. And also on that, Maz, that was the first time we scored 2 goals in 11 matches.
Yeah, crazy.
Just
crazy.
Poor.
So, I mean, that is awful. But, I mean, if we can do that against Newcastle...
We are going to beat them. Honestly, I think we will. And, I'm saying this, right? And do you know what, actually? I need to say this. On Twitter, I put a thing on because I don't even know what I put, to be honest. And someone said, another negative tweet from you. So are you ever positive? Have you said anything positive this year? I was thinking, mate, I literally said we'd beat Tottenham, Liverpool.
Yeah. Do you not listen to the podcast, you mug?
I said we'd literally beat, all of the best teams. How can you even say, oh my God? Like, when I saw that, I was like, my brain cells just left the chat.
You should have just sent him a link to all the podcasts where you literally, were the most person going into the game.
Even if he doesn't listen to the podcast, it's on my Twitter, literally everywhere. Every single tweet was positive, saying, today is the day we beat Leicester, I'm pretty sure. And then we lost. Yeah. So, how can you... I can't even be bothered to rant on that. Mate. But
and with regards to... Let's start with you, Ben. I've got a question for you both. With regards to the game itself, I'm very confident just to get out there. We're all very confident that we're going to win. But if we weren't, let's say we draw or lose, is that, panic stations? Are we oh, fuck, this is bad, relegation... Or do you not think that's still panic stations?
I think it'll be a massive opportunity missed. But I don't think it'll be panic stations just yet because we know how to... Well, I was going to say we know how to beat teams, but we don't. We know how to play good football and performances that warrant a good result. It's just about the time that we do start getting those results. Whereas if you're Newcastle, you're not necessarily playing well. So in that respect, they're probably in more danger than us. We look more likely to get results in our last 10 fixtures or whatever. But I don't think it would be the end of the world, but it will be a massive opportunity missed. Yeah.
Ryan?
I think we'll be we'll be in trouble. We'll be dragged into it a bit more, and I think. If confidence-wise, I think we'll be worried. I would be worried anyway because, I think we've got a pretty tough run after this, haven't we? It gets quite scary, and especially our last games are quite worrying. I think we've got Arsenal and Man City the last games. So
apparently that's when the fans are going to come back, isn't it? Because they're pushing back the last 2 fixtures or the last fixture.
Oh, really?
So we're probably going to see Man City lift the Premier League at the Amex again for the second time.
Is it at the Amex that game?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah, because we played at the Etihad. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, hopefully we get back for that one then, because even if we do get relegated, it'll still be nice to beat them.
Our next 3 games, our next 3 games are Man United, Everton, and Chelsea. So that is after Newcastle, obviously. So that is a tough old run. But then we've got Sheffield United, which really should be a guaranteed 3 points. If we don't get another draw or something, that would just be a catastrophe. Our next 3 games after Newcastle is tough. So I think with obviously the international break coming up as well, it's perfect. And if we win that, we can just sort of confidence is going to be high and we just take it from there. But
we've got a decent podcast coming up. We won't say what it's going to be, but over the international break we've got a pretty special podcast coming up, so you should be looking forward to that, but we're not going to say any more about it. We'll leave you guessing.
That world exclusive.
Got a couple of exclusives in here now. We've got a Sidemen exclusive as well.
KSI. Unbelievable scenes. Well, look, boys, but we're confident for the Newcastle game, and hopefully everyone listening as well. I hope you enjoyed it. We know it was a long old podcast, but yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and hopefully we're going to be having some more guests, like Ben said, some more surprises for you. So yeah, if you did, of course, comment and subscribe. It does mean a lot to us.
What should they comment?
And yeah, what should you comment? That's a good one. Let's do something Stuart / KSI related or YouTube related.
My brain's gone now, to be honest.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I've got to do that. Do you know what? I'll include the Albion and community thing, because I've got to do the Albion and community charity stream.
Oh yeah.
I've got to be filming for 5 hours minimum. I'm gonna be so tired.
Oh yeah. Ryan, you're screwed. Ryan, if you're like this after an hour and a half, you're gonna be absolutely screwed. You're gonna be screwed.
5 hours. I'm gonna be like this. I'm just gonna be like, yeah, guys.
Like, what's going on? Now let's go in the comments. Ryan versus Maz boxing fight. Go for that one. Ryan versus Maz boxing fight. If you want to see it, comment down below. Yeah, Ryan versus Maz or Ryan boxing. But yeah, right, cool.
I'm gonna DM right now.
We appreciate you. Of course, keep watching and keep streaming it on all the usual Apple and Spotify. And of course, we'll see you after the Newcastle game.
Peace.